three picks, I think we all knew. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May.
That was surprising.
I was shocked the Cardinals didn't trade down.
I was surprised that,
Joe Alt going 5 was interesting.
I was surprised Drake May didn't go to the Commanders. I'm
No.
sorry, Redskins. I'm not doing that. But anyways, because I figured a lot of the process up till a couple weeks ago, he was looking like he was
He's
going
number
to
2.
But,
Let's be honest,
the
Jaden Daniels is
the
better.
Patriots got to go their way. They need the white quarterback.
Oh, Lord.
They do.
Joe Alt going 5 was interesting. They don't have a receiver. They have Quentin Jefferson who had in baseball.
Going back 4, I'm not surprised they didn't trade down. Marvin Harrison's a generational talent. We all know what his potential is.
And we're going to touch on this in a minute. Generational talent falling.
Shut the fuck up.
But Joe Alt going at 5.
They got to protect Herbert. I get it, but they have, like you said, no receivers.
The Giants taking Malik Neighbors and J.T. Latham being a stretch. That was a reach.
Yeah, but
they took him.
But who they wanted at offensive tackle is already gone. So you got to make the pick.
I would have gone Olu.
Okay, here we go. We're about to watch Lane Nelson freak out.
Oh, so Michael Penix. So there's a video
of
Terry Footnote explained to Arthur Blank as he looks confused. I was watching some shows this morning. They were talking about he's a security blanket.
8th overall pick, security blanket.
Yeah, makes no sense. Why are you paying Kirk Cousins $100 million guaranteed? $180.
I'm sorry, it's $180.
It's $100 guaranteed.
Oh, poor. We're only talking $25 million a year. We're only talking a little bit of money.
He's coming up
behind the Civic.
Why do you sign the man if you plan on taking?
I said before that I think the signing was not the smartest decision. Especially
we agreed on that.
So we've talked about that, and then you draft guys 24. Okay, I get COVID year. I get it. I'm nervous about drafting players, mostly quarterbacks in this draft, simply because of the age. I get quarterbacks. You have a long career. You can play into your 40s, but let's be realistic.
There's no developing. He's done developing.
But what I'm saying is, be realistic here. You got a guy who are you going to take? A guy that's 20 with a little bit less current skill, current play? Or a guy that's 24 is at his peak? You're going to take the guy that's 20 for the potential.
But there's nobody that's
Exactly. 20. That's the problem. You're taking a guy that's at his relative peak. He'll develop in the pros, but at his relative peak, when you have a quarterback that's 35, who has 4 years, let's say he starts in 3 years, he's going to be 27. He's going to have a mortgage and 4 kids.
Here's the thing at the same time, too. Michael Penix has his own injury issues.
Michael Penix does
have his own injury issues. Well, and they said that, the Falcons think they're going to contend. Well,
for what?
We just made a first-round pick that it's not going to help us get any better. We needed pass rushing. Dallas Turner is there.
It's like the graphic you and I saw. We saw, what was it? It was like, Falcons
offense, 2
weapons.
Quarterbacks.
What the fuck are you doing with 2 quarterbacks?
It's the Saints all over again with Drew Brees and Taysom
Hill.
Hill.
Then he posted on the story, so funny. Any given Sunday, you had the old quarterback sitting there, the young guys. It's so funny.
If Michael Penix, here's the worry too.
Yeah.
If Michael Penix plays early,
yeah,
we just wasted at least $100 million guaranteed
on Kirk
180 total. On Kirk Cousins?
What I don't understand is this, right? There's no backup on the team right now, right?
Oh, by the way, Taylor Heineke's still on the roster for 7
He's not a bad backup quarterback.
Exactly. So what are we doing?
Look what he did in Washington.
We're going to carry 3 quarterbacks?
The Jets almost carried 4.
But we're also paying them a lot of money.
You are paying Kirk a lot of money. Kirk is not worth $100 million for 4 years. I'm sorry. Fully guaranteed, I don't think it's worth that. If I'm the Falcons and I want a bridge QB, I would have tried for Gardner Minshew or something, because that's
Jacoby Brissett,
Gardner Minshew. I love Gardner Minshew. I think he's a starting caliber quarterback.
Yeah.
I think you look at his stats in his time in Jacksonville, like you showed me, the stats in Jacksonville for him and Trevor Lawrence, they're identical.
And Trevor Lawrence has been 4 years compared to Minshew too.
And not just that, the weapons. Gardner Minshew had nobody. Compared to Trevor Lawrence.
Well, but Trevor Lawrence just has a boatload of number 2s.
Yeah, but when you have a buttload of number 2s and you don't even have one number 2 when you're Gardner Minshew on Jacksonville.
True. So I didn't like the decision. The Bears took Romeo Dozier. J.J. McCarthy, who I don't think is that good. I think it was just John Harbaugh gassing him up.
I'm surprised by how, we're talking about later, how high these quarterbacks were.
So, and this is where we get interesting. So the Jets traded back a spot, and then here's the big thing. Because you were talking about Brock Bowers, and we all agreed you needed Brock Bowers. Because y'all still had a pretty good tackle.
We have a good
And then y'all signed Morgan Moses.
Now, I will say, what's his name? Tyler Smith, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He has injury issues. He does.
Yeah. So y'all just signed 2 tackles.
No, but once he does have injury issues, I do understand wanting to beef up the offensive line room in case of that. But when you have a generational talent sitting there at 11, who has, sky high upside, Brock Bowers is the most potential. He has some of the highest potential.
He'd have been a top 3 pick if positional value was the same.
Exactly. Tight ends aren't valued that high. But he gives you the blocking. He gives you the receiving. He gives you everything you want to support that offense, especially when you have Aaron Rodgers going to his age 40 season. I get you want to protect him, but this guy can block in the run game.
And he's a darn good athlete.
Exactly.
And
I don't want to say this. The guy, I'm not trying to pronounce this guy at Penn State. I'm not trying to pronounce his name. I will not be able to do it. But he's not a bad pick. Like, if Brock Bowers doesn't exist, or if Brock Bowers was not taken, like was already taken, if he was taken at 5 or whatever, that's not a bad pick. He's a great offensive tackle. But I feel like you got to go, when you're picking at 11 and you've had a fantastic offseason, you go best player available.
yeah, you signed 2 tackles? Why'd you sign it? Why'd you draft one?
Exactly. I don't get it.
You wasted money, and you're giving, because you got 2 protectors. Tyron Smith's a good tackle, and so is Morgan Moses. You need a tight end, because outside, who's y'all's receivers? Let's be honest here.
Okay,
Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard.
Alan Lazard, that's a problem.
Y'all do have Mike Williams.
No, but there's a problem here. Alan Lazard, I think, correct me, it's like $12 million. It's a lot of money.
Yo, he's getting paid. He's overpaid.
And he can't play. He had so many troubles last year, they benched him at the end of the year. He was not playing.
So if you put in Brock Bowers, and at the end of the episode, I'm going to put in your Rage video. I'm going to add that because that is just pure gold. But there's you need it, but he's 42, right?
Who?
Aaron Rodgers.
He's not 42, he's 40.
40. But he's just coming off an Achilles
Close
tear.
enough, dude.
He's coming off an Achilles tear. You got to add a tight end. You got to add weapons.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. I get you want to protect your quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is not prime Aaron Rodgers anymore. But he's still a great quarterback. I mean,
but then why'd you make those signings? The Falcons and the Jets made signings to cover a position and then just redrafted that position.
Exactly. And I get, we have a good tight end, Tyler Conklin. This is Brock Bowers. What
he's
are we
talking
talking
about? He's going to have 1,000-yard receiving yards.
I'm not trying to hate. Tyler Conklin's been a great weapon for the Jets for a few years now. He's not a bad player.
He's an all right tight end.
He's a good tight end. But you have somebody that's generational. You have talent. You have something there, and you choose not to take it.
You take Olu. And then here gets where it's crazier. Bo Nix goes 12 above him.
We were talking late first, early second for Bo Nix.
I had him going second in my mock. I had him going second to the Raiders.
He goes number 12. So first off, you trade for Zach Wilson. Which
you also traded for Jarrett Stidham, too.
But that was a couple of years ago.
No, that was earlier. That was
I thought it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was last offseason.
Okay. But you have Zach Wilson. I don't think he's going to be a good quarterback.
No.
But you traded for him. For what? Because Jarrett Stidham's probably a better quarterback in your system because he's been there for a year than Zach Wilson.
And then you draft Bo Nix, 12.
Which you could have gotten Bo Nix, or even if you just want a bridge quarterback, there's guys you could have signed. This was a poor decision by the Broncos.
I'm not a big fan of Bo Nix. And then
I'm a fan of Bo Nix. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's a 12th overall pick, though.
No, and then we saw Brock Bowers fall to 13th.
That pisses me off. You have Michael Mayer. Why?
Because,
you drafted him last year. He's a good tight end.
But because you can't pass on Brock Bowers. Someone had to stop the bleeding.
I get it, but what I don't understand, first off, if I'm the Jets, right, I have picks. I have players I can give up. You should have traded
Will McDonald. I've been preaching this.
Okay, at this point, right, after looking at this draft, it would have made sense to give him up. You're right. But there's a way you could have traded from, let's say you do have pick 10 and they stayed there. You could have attached another first, a second, Will McDonald, get in the top 15. You could have had Brock Bowers.
Olu and Brock Bowers.
Exactly. You would have had a killer draft. That would have been 2022 all over again.
But instead, you let him fall to the Raiders. I don't understand. I guess I did read something where they aren't high on Michael Mayer. In the organization, they were disappointed in how he played.
I think he played well.
He was hurt for a bit, I think, and then he just underperformed.
To be fair, though, look who his coach was for most
Exactly, but he underperformed.
I get it, but I'm just
saying. I guess they found you can't let Brock Bowers go by.
Yeah.
And then the Saints take.
Don't even try.
Yeah.
Don't even try.
The tackle out of Oregon State. The Colts take Latu. We were kind of shocked about that, but he was arguably the number 1 edge rusher in this class.
That was a good pick for the Saints simply because you got to protect Derek Carr.
And they just lost their tackle.
And Derek Carr, there's a lot of hate going around.
He got the crap kicked out of him.
I like Derek Carr. I think
did too.
Vegas did him so dirty. No question. I guarantee you right now Vegas is regretting getting rid of Derek Carr.
Oh, because Aiden O'Connell's their starting quarterback.
Because you would have never had this issue if Josh McDaniels was never born. He should have never been born. But anyway.
He was a solid OC for the Patriots. Let's give him his credit.
Okay, but Dude, your coach is Bill Belichick. Who cares? And your quarterback's Tom Brady. What are you doing? Sitting there getting coffee for everybody? He's not doing a job.
But Latu was either number 2 or number 1 edge rusher.
I'm just surprised. I mean, like, UCLA is not really a football school, but good for the guy.
But he put up insane numbers. Let's look at his numbers, because I think he had like a great year.
He ran a 4.6. That's pretty good for his position, his size.
I mean, wherever I saw that he was arguably the number 1 edge.
49 tackles, 2 picks, and 2 forced fumbles, and 2 pass breakups.
It does not give me his college stats on ESPN. What? Okay.
Unprepared.
Oh, ESPN blows. How many sacks did he have in his time?
I don't know. It doesn't say. I think I saw it was like 9 or something.
It was pretty solid.
It was a good amount.
So, I mean, you look at that, and, I mean, that's arguably something that hurt Jared Verse was him opting out of that game and him whining. That whole process when FSU was left out. A lot of teams did not like that because of that doesn't look like a team player.
Yeah.
Dallas Turner fell due to health concerns. They didn't say what. They just said that there were some health concerns that teams were skeptical on.
How do you feel about the Bengals taking Marius Mims?
I think that's a good thing. They lost Jonah. They lost their tackle, I think.
I mean, also you got to protect Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's he's starting to get to the point where he has a lot of injury issues.
Yeah,
which is sad because I think Joe Burrow healthy is a top 5 quarterback in the league. I think it's a pretty fair statement.
This makes no sense. They have Trent Brown.
Who?
The Bengals. All-Pro tackle. Orlando Brown.
Yeah.
All-Pro tackle.
Yeah.
You just drafted Amarius Mims.
Yeah.
First-round tackle. You bump in Trent Brown to left guard.
I was about to say, you put one of them at guard.
Because Alex Kappa, who's a pretty darn right guard, is starting. Ted Karras, unless you put, because I think Kappa was a center for the Buccaneers. You push Kappa at center.
We're talking offensive line. We're not talking like a giant. I get it's a different job, but you're not talking a giant position change. You see, it happens a lot now where offensive linemen switch positions on the line. I don't think it was a stupid pick. I mean, you pick a guy. You're also picking at, what they pick, 18. You take who's the best available for what you need.
Dallas Turner falling to 17 was big. The Falcons are gonna rue the day that they didn't take him number 8.
You just said rue the day?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They're not gonna like it. I mean, like seriously, you were they finished last in sacks in the league back-to-back years. What do? Take a quarterback. That doesn't fix the issue.
It would have made sense to take a quarterback for one. If it was not...
Kirk Cousins wasn't on the roster.
If Kirk Cousins... I still wouldn't have picked him at 8. I really wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have either. I had him going 12.
I think...
And I had Bo Nix going...
You got to think, like, you have so many... You pick, like you said, 2 injury-riddled quarterbacks.
Yeah, like, both of them got injury issues. I had Bo Nix going 44th overall.
Jesus, Marion Joseph.
He went 12.
That's crazy. This draft was ridiculous. It really was.
Most teams had him going early second.
Yeah.
I had Michael Penix going 12. I had Brian Thomas going 11.
Your mock draft did not go well.
No.
I feel like if it wasn't ruined, if it was not ruined by pick 5, everybody's mock draft was shot by pick 8.
Oh, yeah.
It was gone. Nobody had Michael Penix going to the Falcons. I didn't see that. I've seen, in this past month, probably seen 50 mock drafts. Did not see a single one taking Michael Penix today.
No.
Didn't happen.
Well, when he said, and I had that look on my face when when what's-his-face said, they've had a lot of interest in Michael Penix, I was thinking, oh, shit, here we're going.
Lane probably said about 15 times last night, I expect this now.
I'm used to this. This is the Falcons' way.
Also, I want to apologize to Aaron Rodgers. I didn't want to throw his jersey away, just the Jets jersey.
Yeah, that
Aaron
picture's
Rodgers,
on our story.
Great quarterback, but that was a stupid fucking pick. I'm sorry.
The Rams got Jared Verse to replace Aaron Donald. He's not going to be Aaron Donald, but you get a good edge.
But who's the guy that was a rookie last year?
Byron Young?
Yeah, he played well, and he learned from Aaron Donald. But, I mean, like, that's a big loss, Aaron Donald, obviously, going to retirement. He's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best defensive players ever. So, they're going to have some issues, but I feel like they had a turnaround year last year, and I'm not going to count them out for playoff contention or nothing.
Yeah. The Steelers got another tackle, and then Miami Dolphins go Chop Robinson You're
such a stupid name.
Dude's a unit, name. But like, why is you?
We got a guy named Pork Chop and Kool-Aid. What are we doing?
Kool-Aid's a nickname, supposedly. Chop is his actual name. And then the Eagles draft a corner. We saw the corners that we did not expect.
I just can't believe a guy from Toledo is a first-round pick.
Yeah, that is huge.
Like, we're not talking about a real school here.
Well, isn't what's his face that linebacker that was Devin Lloyd? No, he's from Utah. But let's look. So the top corner was Terrion Arnold. No, it was Mitchell. Mitchell was the top corner. So they did win. They just went late. I'm shocked. Like Kool-Aid went so late, or Kool-Aid hasn't been picked yet, and then Cooper DeJean has yet to be picked.
That doesn't surprise me.
But yeah, we figured out the reason behind that one. Brian Thomas, the Jaguars finally get a number one receiver.
I mean, that division's kind of ass anyway.
They needed a number one. They had four number twos, and they needed a number one.
No, but now you have some weapons. You have Evan Ingram. You have Brian Thomas now.
Yeah.
But this is a big year for Trevor Lawrence. Like, you got to show you can do something. I hear people say top 10 for Trevor Lawrence. That's crazy.
I think he's the 10th best quarterback.
No. I'll give you 10 better quarterbacks right now.
Who?
Let me pull. I need to look at him in front of me.
Can't say Aaron Rodgers because he's coming off injuries. So
I can absolutely say Aaron Rodgers.
No,
the fuck are you talking about?
Him and Kirk Cousins don't count.
I was not going to say Kirk Cousins. Sorry to break it.
You have to have guys that were healthy at the end of last year.
Okay. Here we go. Josh Allen, Tua, Lamar Jackson. Joe Burrow played some games. So Joe Burrow.
Yeah, he's still with some injuries. So
C.J. Stroud. Who we got? Justin Herbert. Dak Prescott. Jalen Hurts. Jared Goff. Jordan Love.
Dak Prescott.
Baker Mayfield. Kyler Murray. Matthew Stafford. Brock Purdy.
You just hate Trevor Lawrence.
Those are all better quarterbacks.
I don't think Baker's better, and I don't think Dak's better.
What do you mean Dak's not better? You hate Dak Prescott, though.
Dude, he's one of those guys that does good in the regular season and chokes in the playoffs.
What? Oh, Mahomes. Who cares about Mahomes? He sucks.
But
Patrick Mahomes is an asshole. I don't care. His wife kills me.
Then the Lions. I did not like this Lions pick.
Who'd they pick?
They were third worst in sacks.
I mean,
speak unless spoken to. But Terrion Arnold. Again, everybody they need an edge.
Yeah.
You go corner.
Yeah.
When you have one guy that got double-digit sacks, nobody had more than 5 outside of Aiden Hutchinson, and you take corner when you probably could have got one in the second round.
I mean, the team was good last year, so I get it. I mean, you address a need. It might not be your pressing need, but you address something.
Let's look at what's the sacks look like. It was one of the worst teams statistically, sack-wise. Because they just... So let's look.
Let's take a smoke break while Lane does this.
Oh, bite me. It's not going to have sacks on here. Oh, yeah, sacks. They had 31 total sacks.
Oh, my gosh.
31.
Where's that rank?
But somehow better than the Falcons.
Guys,
so you're telling
Falcons
me...
fucking suck.
So you're telling me that you need a corner when you had 31 sacks...
I have a question. Is this just coming from Falcons rage right now?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, I did not like this pick. And I said that last night. I said they needed an edge or an interior lineman because when they played the 49ers, damn near every other play, there was a guard on the floor. And then there's a tackle up in Jared Goff's face. So again, why do you go... Why? You have Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, Tracy Walker, Jerry Jacobs.
Okay.
All solid secondary guys.
Can we be honest?
And
we're talking about the fucking Lions right now. Besides last year's the most press they've gotten in the past 15 years. Pick another player, please. Good lord.
So, okay, well, I'll tell you this. Aiden Hutchinson had 11.5 sacks.
Aiden Hutchinson's good.
You knew second best player that had sacks? 5! His name is Liam McNeil.
Pause it real quick.
No, don't.
Yes. No.
Don't.
I'll fix it. Stop. Pause real quick. It's going to pick it up, dude.
Yeah, stop. We're not trying to get the input. Press it again.